Hello, welcome everybody to the Jason Edwards Show. It's a live stream show. We're also going to have this on iTunes, and we're streaming live on Instagram live right now. Today we're going to talk a lot about Instagram, how to grow your Instagram following, a little bit about Snapchat. I had to bring somebody in who I'm way more attractive than for the first show, just because I didn't want to be embarrassed. So got my good friend Tarzan, Greg Tarzan Davis here on the show.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
So we're going to just talk about, we're going to take your questions too, and I'm going to ask him a lot of questions about how he grew his following. Any of you that are actors, filmmakers, anybody in the entertainment industry, also if you're just a business owner or somebody who just wants to learn more about Instagram and how it can affect your business and help you improve the things that you got going on, then we'll talk about that. So with that being said, let me pull up my Facebook stream here and just make sure we are live, because I don't know if I even, yeah, I did switch it over. Cool. So let me pull up the Facebook, and we'll get it rolling. And Greg's going to share that out to people too.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
We
okay.
good? All right, yep. Share it out a few places just so we get some people watching here. Share. Boom. Okay, cool. So, Greg.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So I wanted to ask you a couple things. First of all, how long have you been on Instagram?
I've been on Instagram, I want to say about 2 years now.
Okay.
I've been making videos. Well, I've been on longer, but I started making videos, I want to say about 2 years now. Yeah.
Okay. And did you have a following on other platforms before you got on that, or was that kind of your first one that you started really focusing on?
The first social media platform that I started focusing on was Vine, actually. That's why I started making my social media videos, and then I transferred. They actually went hand in hand. So I will make an Instagram video, I'll make a Vine video, okay, and they built up together. Okay.
And you never really did like Facebook or Twitter or that kind of thing?
I never did Facebook or Twitter really until recently.
Okay, cool. Now, how quickly did you start seeing success? Was it like really quick, or did you take a long time and then it just hit a part where it spiked up?
At the time when I was making videos, they didn't have that many comedians, that many people who were trying to make social media videos like on Vine or Instagram. So I came in at a good time for my platform where it actually took off. I had a few viral videos that went on World Star, and the followers began to accumulate really, really quickly. But now it's kind of difficult for a lot of people to gain their followers because there's so many people out there who make videos.
Right. And I guess we should tell people how many followers on Instagram you have right now.
Currently, I have 127 followers.
Okay.
So 127,000.
Oh, we got the wrong guess. I'm sorry.
No, you get used to just cutting down when you're talking to other social media people. You're like, how many followers do you have? 127.
No,
500, and you understand the K is behind it. So
I got you. Cool. And so you said you were making videos, because a lot of people are in the entertainment industry. A lot of people are in just have businesses, or they work for themselves or whatever. So we'll focus initially on people that are like in the entertainment industry, want to grow a following that they can spread their message to. You said you make videos. What kind of videos are you making primarily?
In the beginning, when I first started, I made it comical videos. I made a little comical skits, ideas of everyday life that people may do. Like an example would be how you and your brother fought growing up. So I would think of past scenarios of how me and my brother used to interact when we were younger, and I would act like the child and cry and fuss, and then a mom will come in and start whipping the children. Or like if someone broke a window and no one wants to tell, oh, you broke the window, but the mom's like, if you don't tell, then everybody's getting a whipping. So you're like, but it just brings back childhood memories, and people enjoy
things that people can relate to.
Yes.
And you had other people in them, or did you shoot everything like with you as all the characters?
It's hard to get everybody in the same spot. It's hard to actually get everybody on the same schedule. And when I first started, I was really the only person out of my friends to really make these videos. So I had to play all the characters myself, imitating the mom, imitating the brother, the sister, the daughter, whoever it was. I ended up imitating them.
I got you. Yeah. So you would set up, did you do it on an iPhone or something?
I did everything on the iPhone, yes. I didn't have a camera. I wasn't really tech savvy until I began to progress over time in these things. So everything was on my iPhone, and I didn't even have a camera stand at the time. Actually, I would prop up books or shoe boxes, and I would just sit my phone up and lean it towards. So there's been many times where I'm sitting there and I'm jumping and the camera will fall and I'm like, oh dang, I gotta do it all over again because
it was like a really good take.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, and then you run out of space on the iPhone, so I constantly had to redo it. But still to this day I use my iPhone. Sometimes I use my brother's camera, but for the most part the iPhone is, my reliable best friend.
Right. So like we got like 5 cameras, we got all this equipment, but when you started out you didn't need all that stuff. You still was able to find success with
it. I was able to find success because like I said, there wasn't that many people doing it, so the quality wasn't that important. It was more so the material that you were putting out. So I look back on my old videos and it's funny, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people used to like sit there and watch this and be entertained by this.
How terrible it was.
Yeah, it was like the editing was terrible. Like it would be, and you're gonna sit there and talk. It was just off, and I look at the work that I do now, and it's like, wow, the editing is improving. The quality of it is much better than how it used to be.
And we'll link it up, your Instagram handle, and you use the same one for I think a couple.
Basically, the real Tarzan _ on Instagram, _ the real Tarzan on Twitter. If you type in Tarzan Davis, Tarzan on the Vine, the real Tarzan, that'll pop up on basically everything.
And I know I've asked you this just hanging out, but just so everybody else knows, how'd you get the nickname Tarzan?
Funny thing, I've always had long hair growing up, so people would play around and say, hey, Tarzan, Tarzan, Tarzan. But one day in college, it was a Halloween day, and I wasn't going to go out to a party, and my friends were like, hey, just come on, have fun. I was all into the book, so I was like, I don't want to go. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday night, and I was like, I have class the next morning. I'm not doing this. My freshman year in college. And they were like, come on. So I was like, okay, pick a costume. I didn't have one. So they said, why don't you go as Tarzan? I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So I wrapped the towel around my waist, went out to the club, and it's just a towel, and Tarzan stuck. Everybody around campus started calling me that, and I was like, you know what? That'll be my social media name.
You like taped some leaves or something for the underwear, huh?
No, I took like one of the medium-sized towels, and I actually put it like a diaper, tied it. And I had tights on under, so I tucked it under the tights so it can stay in place. But Tarzan stuck after that.
And you've been growing your hair for like, what, 9 years, something like that?
10 years. I'm on 10 years now. Yeah, so that's a long time.
Oh, no. I think our camera feed might have shut out.
Uh-oh.
So we'll go, let me see if it did or not. Let me go back to, might have to switch. We're still live, so let me switch my feed back.
Let's switch it.
We're okay. Just, I think I'm going to figure out a better delay next time.
We're back.
We're back?
Yep.
All right, that might happen again, but let me get another feed in here again, too. First show, guys, so we're testing out some things, and probably going to have more issues like that. It's all good, though.
It's okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So let me make sure we're back again. All right, so let me know if you guys can see us. I don't think we killed the live stream.
No, looks like it's still going.
Cool. So if you guys have any questions about growing your Instagram following, we're going to get into some Snapchat stuff too, which I'm really interested in because I have it and I watch other people's, and I do a few things on Snapchat, but he's like crushing it on Snapchat. So I want to learn some things about that and what kind of content to put out there and things like that. So let me see if I can pull up your comments. I'm having trouble seeing comments as I did last time. Let's see.
if we want to touch more into growing the fan base, I can get on.
Yeah, please do that. Yeah, because I think it's important. I think in any industry, whether you sell real estate or you sell books, or you're an actor, or you're just, really any business that you're in, you need to elevate your profile to other people so they know who you are, and you can climb the ladders that you want to climb. So growing a social following. I know a lot of people are against it. They don't want to have to do it. I'm with you. But how did you go about doing it? In addition to the videos, obviously, that people liked and would follow you that way. But
in the beginning, like I said, I was one of the few people to make videos. Now, I'm not saying I was the only one, though. I was like 1 out of 10 people. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't as common as it is today to have a large following, or it wasn't as common to make these Instagram skits and things like that. So when I was doing it, it was easier for me because I wasn't competing with anybody. I wasn't having to think of another idea, anything like that. It wasn't about relevancy. It was just about go ahead and have fun. Go ahead and make this video, make people laugh, and more people are going to come. Right. So like if you saw one of my videos, you thought it was funny, you would tell a friend, and a friend was like, oh my gosh, he's funny. Let me check his page out. And you look for more and more videos. And that's how my following grew. But now it's a little different. Now I'm learning that you actually have to, it's a method. It's actually, you have to pay attention to what people want. Or you have to pay attention to who you appease to. So it's like, what crowd do you want to reach? Mm-hmm. So do you want to reach a country crowd? Do you want to reach a ratchet crowd? Do you want to reach, that's what
I'm trying to reach.
Yeah, the ratchet crowd. Yeah, that's the easiest one. All you say is like, beep, beep, beep. You say a lot of bad words and they'll love you. But do you want to reach, photographers or actors? You have to know what crowd that you want to reach before you can say, okay, I'm about to do this. Because if you don't, then you're making videos for no reason. Mm-hmm. So let's say you wanted to reach a corny, geeky crowd, and you're going to do like goofball comedy. Then you know what type of comedy to go towards instead of just doing some random type stuff. Now, once you start this comedy, you want to continue on with the same thing. You want to be consistent with it. You don't want to go from this to this to this, because people are going down your page to see what you're doing. So if you like the video I did, and let's say it was a goofball comedy, and then the next video I did, it was and you love the goofball comedy, but the next thing I did was X-rated, you're like, oh, I don't really know. You. So you can get turned off from someone's page that fast.
So how does somebody that has a lot of different interests accomplish the same thing? Because like sometimes you might want to be more professional, sometimes you want to be comedic. Do you have to set up separate channels to do the different things, or can you do everything if you just want to do it under one thing and just see what happens?
I wouldn't necessarily say do everything under one thing. I don't agree with it, but it could still work. I think me personally, I have my different social media platforms like Vine, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and I treat each of them differently. Like my Instagram, I see it as more professional now because that's what the business world is looking to. They're looking to see your Instagram. Every time you fill out something, say, okay, what's your Instagram? As far as Snapchat, I feel I can be more free and I can say and do whatever I want and don't have to worry about, oh gosh, somebody judging me for what I say. Yeah. Twitter, there's a lot of people in the industry that I'm an actor, for those of you who don't know, who actually have a Twitter. So I try to, not be unprofessional on there and so on and so forth. Like Vine, I was crazy on Vine. So it's really about knowing what area people are in. I would keep it the same, though. I wouldn't go all crazy. And that also goes down to being yourself. I tell everybody who come up to me and ask me, oh, how did you get all these followers? And I'm like, be yourself. The people love you. That's what a lot of people don't do. Everybody does social media skits now. Everybody does these comical skits now. There's different type of famous social media people. You have the people who just take beautiful pictures, so they have 100,000 followers because people love their photography. Right. You have somebody who makes, who just talk, who tells stories on their Instagram or social media, and everybody follows them because they like you know, to hear the stories, or you have people who make comical skits, which is the large majority of famous social media people. And you know, with that, you just have to be yourself.
Right.
And I will prefer for people to go ahead and be yourself instead of trying to follow a trend of comical skits.
Okay. Are you finding, because you went out to LA and you talked to some people on Instagram, right?
Yes.
And they gave you some tips. I don't know if you can share that. Did they say you had to keep it quiet?
I can't really speak too much on what we talked about at the Instagram meeting, but I can say there is a method to everything, and the method is being consistent. That's what they said. Be consistent in everything you do on social media, because there's so many people trying to do it that you will fall under. Yeah. So if you were making, you know, skit after skit after skit, and then you just stop all of a sudden, there's like 10 or 20 other people that's making skit after skit after skit. So they're going to follow you and go follow the other person. Right. They're going to, you know, go.
It's like a machine that's never full. It's like you got to keep feeding them.
Exactly,
the machine, right?
Exactly.
Well, I think, I mean, there's a lot of ways. Like I've grown my following consistently to around 12,000 people. So thank all of y'all. I'm not quite at the level yet, but I think the reason I like Instagram is I find it's even more engaging. You get a lot more feedback than even on Facebook and other platforms. It used to be where I could post something on Facebook on one of my pages and I'd get all kinds of shares and likes and comments. And now that's gone down really low. And Instagram is where I get a lot of that feedback from people. Are you finding the same thing?
I do find it's the same thing. One thing I would want you guys to know is Facebook and Instagram are actually in the same business. I just found that out when I went to the meeting. So it's good to stay on both platforms, continue working on both platforms, even if one doesn't seem to be, you know, prospering more, you know, like the other one.
And the point to make, so Facebook owns Instagram. They bought it for like $1 billion a few years ago, but even though they do own it, they're operated separately. I mean, they have probably the same plan moving forward with some certain things and rollouts and things, like they work together, but it's just because you have an issue on Instagram doesn't mean you can reach out to Facebook and get it fixed, right? They have their own departments.
Yeah, they are their own department, but they're all under the same little roof.
I got you.
But as far as building your, what did you say?
Just building your following. I mean, as far as if you're trying to get more interaction with people.
The interaction part. As far I find Instagram is more interactive, more personal. Well, it was more personal. I still kind of feel it is more personal, because in order for you to follow somebody, it's like I'm giving them a follow. People, that's how people look at it. Like, I'm giving them my life to watch them. That's how people look at it. It's crazy, but that's what they say. And to get that following on both platforms, you just have to redirect the people to that platform. So if you have a large following on Instagram and you want to go to, you want them to go to Facebook, you have to give them different content. You can't give them the same content you're giving them on Instagram and on Facebook, because they're like, why am I wasting my time going on back and forth? You have to give them a reason to want to say, hey, let me check out the Facebook. Or give them a reason to say, hey, let me check out the Instagram.
Jeremy London says, I'm ready when you are, homie. He's going to come on the show one day. Let's see what else I want. Oh, so with that now, do you think that the kind of videos or just doing that video skit style stuff can work for business owners too? Like somebody who's trying to grow a following for business, if they just kind of revolved it around their business and made it fun, like you do for a salon and you do some work for some other people that hire you. Do you find that works for them?
Yeah. If you a lot of businesses come to me, a lot of people come to me for advertisement, because now social media is the wave to get your platform out there. If you have a salon, like you said, to go ahead and get people to see it. So for other companies who's trying to get a large following for a hair salon or for whatever else, any business or anything like that, I think maybe comedy isn't the right route, but you need to find an interest, something that if you know you have a hair salon, I'm keep going to that. That's something I recently for me. And
you need one for you gotta keep that looking
right. Yeah. I gotta keep that looking right.
How long does it take to braid?
An hour. It actually takes an hour to retwist and to braid it. It takes maybe 10-15 minutes to braid it, but it takes an hour to retwist, wash, and everything. Not that long. Well, shorter than when you get a haircut. But if you know that you have a hair salon and that's what you want to target the people that are into hair. So you want to post things that would intrigue them. So if you're looking for the female fan base, then you will post female things. So whether it's like beautiful women with nice hair, or you can have your hair like this. It doesn't always have to be comedy skits. And you also want your page to be personal. That's what I tell a lot of people. It used to be pretty, as long as your page is pretty, people follow you. They don't worry about that no more. Make it personal. And I think a lot of my supporters, a lot of my fans, they stick with me because I'm so personal with them. I let them know what I'm doing in my day. I'm letting them know who I am. So that when they watch my videos, it's even more, it's exciting to see even more, because they see me on an everyday, like if I'm doing a live or if I'm just talking to them, and then they see us getting like, boy, you're stupid, because I know how you really are, but you acting like this. So it's crazy. So for a business, if you're a car dealership, you want to post nice cars, you want to say, hey, this is who I am. I'm driving this nice car. I work here. I work long hours. People start to know you. And I want to take that to say, at first, I didn't understand why people saw social media famous people and it's like, oh my gosh, that's you. I didn't understand it at first, but then this one girl came up to me. She was a younger girl, and I want to say her mom or her auntie. She was like, oh my gosh, like, she just loves you. Like, she just constantly watches it. For her to finally meet you, it's amazing. I was like, okay, I think I get it now.
What's the new form of the television? Like people that were on the radio, then that kind of went away, and everybody on TV was popular TVs and movies, which they still are, but now it's like the new form. It's more accessible, especially when you're doing consistent content. People are feeling like they're seeing you every single day. They feel like they know you. And they walk up, I'm sure a lot of people walk up like they think they know you because maybe you've done Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives and things like that, and they feel like they've seen you over and over again in some really like close quarter session, like just you talking in your house or something,
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to say. It's like, on the screen, it's a mini television. So they finally get to see the person they've been watching. So it's like, oh my gosh, like it's really you. And then you sit there and you express, I don't tell all my personal stuff, but about school, my struggles about school and all that. So people they ask me questions. They say, so how's your sister? Oh, like every time I get hurt, I post it on there. Like I had surgery on my foot. I'm like, oh, playing around with them. Like, how's your foot? Constantly when they see me, how's your foot? How's your face? How's your eye? I ran this whole wall. So they're like, yeah, it's like the new television, like you said.
And you did mention earlier you're an actor. You're very talented. Any of you need to hire this man. He's incredibly talented. You were just on a recent episode of what?
Chicago PD.
Chicago PD.
PD, yes.
You got a great story. I don't know how much you want to say about it, but I just think it's really inspirational because a lot of people that I know want to be in the entertainment industry, whether they want to be musicians, actors, filmmakers, whatever, and you really put in a lot of work, which I respect. So can you just tell a little bit about how you kind of got that role in the show?
I'll sum it all up because it's
yeah, I know it's long, but I really think it's a great story just showing work ethic.
I actually got the role because I have an agent out there in Chicago. Shout out to Panessa Talent. I don't know if I can say it, but shout out to them. I love them. I'm the little peacock. But the way I got that agent was over the summer, this past summer, I think it was in June, towards the end of June, I get a little project notice castings to my email, and I saw something for Empire. So I was like, you know what, let me submit. I didn't think, what are the likelihoods of them actually calling me in, but I was like, I'll still submit just to see. I was on a lunch break, so I submitted. I get to work, and I'm finishing my day. It's about 4 o'clock now, going on 5. I get off at 6:30ish. And finally I get a call from a Chicago number, and I'm like, Chicago? I'm like, who is this? So I'm telling my friend, like, who is this? So I answer and say, hey, hello, is this such and such? And I'm like, yeah. She said, well, we just saw your audition, not audition tape. I sent my information, and we would like for you to come in and read for a role on Empire. And I was like, wait, are you serious? They were like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm all excited, and I'm trying to keep calm, like I've done this before. I'm like, okay. And they were like, okay, well, can you come in tomorrow and read for us? And I was like, okay, where would I be coming in? They were like, such and such, Chicago, Illinois. Oh no, wait, where? I'm thinking it was in New Orleans. I don't know why.
You're like, yeah, I'll be there. They're like, oh, it's in Chicago. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't know you were in New Orleans.
No, they didn't know I was in New Orleans. So I was like, oh, okay. And I also had work. This was Wednesday. I had work Thursday, and I was like, and Friday. So I was like, can we wait till Friday at least so I can have time to get out there? They were like, no, we're only doing casting today. And I'm like, oh, god dang. So I'm like, okay, well, she was like, are you from here? And I'm like, yes, I am.
It's always the right answer.
Yeah, I was like,
can you ride a horse? Yes.
Yes.
Are you in Chicago? Yes.
Yes. Giddy up. So I was like, yes, I'm from Chicago. Yes, I am. So she was like, okay, well, cool. Your call time is, I want to say like 10 or 11:30. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I get off the phone. I'm all excited to come on. I'm like, man, no. I just got an audition for Empire. I'm excited. She's like, good. That's good. Now we got to figure out how you're going to get out there. So I'm searching for plane tickets. The plane tickets are $900, $1,000. And I'm like,
this is just for the audition.
This,
you haven't even walked in the door yet.
I haven't even walked in, never met the people, don't know what I'm walking into or anything. I'm like,
or if it's even real.
Exactly. It could be fake, you know.
Like some scam where they come up and they're like, oh, trust me, we're gonna put you with the Empire people.
Exactly. And that's actually what I was thinking. I was like, man, what is this? I just don't know. But I was like, this is a life and a chance in a lifetime opportunity. This could be the big break or something like that. You know, every actor had that big break. Yeah. So I was like, this could be it. What are the odds they call me after I submitted on a email? But they were like $900,000 is going on. I want to say about 6:30. I'm getting off of work and I go home and I'm like, Mom, what am I supposed to do? She like, I don't know. She was like, do you want to spend the money? I'm like, I'm willing to. Like, this is a chance. Like, forget it. All my little penny pinching. I'm going to my savings. Like, yes, I'm going to buy the ticket. And when I say, oh, what if you find somebody and drive? I said, that's a good idea. So I'm Googling. The drive is 13 and a half to 14 hours for the people who don't know how far Chicago is. 13 and a half from New Orleans.
And the way I drive would probably be like 16.
Yeah, hey, he followed the speed limit, you know.
Yeah, Mom, I follow the speed limit.
But I was like, goodness gracious. So it's like 6:30 now. And I had to be there at like 10 or something like that. So I'm like, gosh, I'm calling everybody. Then finally one of my friends picked up. He said, yeah, bro, I'll be there. He got there by my house like 8 o'clock and boom, I'm hitting the road. I'm trying to, so I'm studying lines while he's driving and I'm driving. And I'm just like going over lines like, so finally we get there. We get there like right before, I want to say about 40 minutes before the audition, maybe an hour before the audition. We bought a jug of water and toothbrush, toothpaste. So I'm in the back of the car. I'm in the back. Yeah, I'm in the back of the car, like guards trying to get ready. I'm getting dressed in the back of the car. Yeah, so I'm like wiping my face, getting ready with a little hand towel with the gallon of water. I'm like, okay, do I look, presentable? He was like, you look like $1 million. And I was like, go ahead and get him. So I'm like, okay. I go in there and I'm all, I'm like, this is my chance. So I go in there for the audition and boom, I do good. And they tell me, they were like, okay, you did real well. You will have a callback. So I'm under the impression the callbacks would be the same day because it's my first major audition, and the other ones it was the same day. So they're like, so what time will callbacks? She's like, oh, not what time? It's next Wednesday. So just be on the. I'm like, wait. So today is Thursday. The callbacks is next Wednesday, but I wasn't really paying attention. So I was just happy that I got the got the callback. So. They called me back and they made it official. Say, hey, come back. And I had to be back out there in Chicago by Wednesday. Plane tickets were still $700, $800, $900. So I had to drive out there again. I didn't do as good for the call. I did pretty decent, but I ended up. I didn't book the role, unfortunately. I mean, it was meant to be as meant to be. Yeah. Yet, not yet. I didn't book that role. There's a bigger role coming. But I drove out there the following week, drove back. So that's a total of 26 hours, 26 times 2. You do the math, boom, boom, boom. And I'm all depressed. I'm like, dang, I didn't get the role. They didn't call me back yet. Dang, they still didn't call me back. But finally, a Chicago agent calls me and they're like, hey, we got your information from the casting company, and we would like for you to come in and audition for us and all that. I'm like, oh gosh, like, is it really worth my time going out there again for a company, agency I don't know anything about? So I did my research and I took a leap of faith and I drove out there once again because they wanted to see me 2 days later.
And they think you live in Chicago?
They think I live in Chicago as well. Everybody think I live in Chicago. So they think I'm just driving like 10, 20 minutes to them to audition. But no, I'm driving 13 and a half, 14 hours to get to them to audition. I do good. They ended up signing me with the agency. And from then on, I've been back and forth from Chicago on auditions. And finally, in October, I auditioned for Chicago PD. And I booked my first national television thing.
Yeah. That was great. You had a great part, too.
Yeah.
Which episode is that?
Episode Chicago PD named Don't Bury the Case.
Don't Bury the Case. That was like 2 weeks ago. I don't know which episode number it is, but if you're a Chicago PD fan, look out for him. He didn't die in the episode, so hopefully they'll bring him back.
Maybe. We don't know.
Cool. So I want to wrap up soon, but I want to talk a little bit about Snapchat and what you do on Snapchat versus Instagram, because I see a lot of people wanting to learn that. It was initially just for what, all the adults thought it was just kids sending stuff they shouldn't be sending on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And then now I'm seeing more and more people, older people get on it. So what kind of platform is, and what do you do there versus Instagram, or why be on both?
Instagram, you don't like to flood your timeline. You don't like to flood your page because that's when people get annoyed and they don't want to watch it. You'll actually lose followers. Now, I've lost followers before.
You're saying doing too much on Instagram?
Constantly posting like all day, every day, boom, 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 boom. You actually lose followers, and I've lost.
Okay, so let me stop you there then. How do you balance, because you said you got to be consistent, so how do you balance consistency without going overboard?
Just stay on their timeline at least once or twice a day. It would be what I recommend.
Okay.
That way they can see you, and then they'll be like, hey, let me check and see if you posted anything else, or she posted anything else, and they'll go to your page and they'll see it and things like that, and you'll pop up on the Explore page. But I love Snapchat because I can post however much I want, how many times I want, and all you can do is watch it or not watch it, but you aren't going to unfollow me because I use Snapchat as a way to show you what I'm doing during the day. Now, I don't use my Instagram. I use it strictly for either business or me posting my funny videos or pictures. But Snapchat, I can show you. I can be like, hey, look, this is where I am, and I respond to that. And I think that's an even more personal connection than Instagram. Building a following on Snapchat really comes from their following on other social medias, because nobody goes on and just be like, oh, let me check the Explore page for Jason Edwards. Because you can't do that on Snapchat. So it's more like if you had a large following on Facebook, follow me on Snapchat and see how my day is going, or I have an audition, follow me, watch it. Same thing on Instagram. Tell them come follow me on there and watch it. And that's how you build it up. But that's more personal. So I will post, like, let's say, have an audition today. I'll get like 50 to 100 good lucks, break a leg, things like that. I'm like, hey, y'all come out and see me. And I'll get like 10,000 viewers, and there, people will actually come out there and see. It's in instant. So on Snapchat, you just have to really... I feel it's you have to build up your other platforms in order for your Snapchat to build up. But Snapchat is very important. Yeah,
so I think they're starting to roll out on Snapchat some more discoverability where you can search people, but it's starting slowly. So as of prior to that, you really had to have a following, like you said, elsewhere to say, hey, follow me on Snapchat. On, like you posted on Instagram or something like that.
Or you can send out to your contacts and say, hey, follow me. But, people really follow Snapchat for different reasons, but mainly to see. I go down, and if I know you, I will watch a Snapchat story. So I know a lot of other people, they really only follow to see, oh, I know them. Let me see what they're up to in their everyday life.
And when you post something, how many views do you typically get on that? And this is like in a 24-hour period. They
updated it, so I was getting 20,000, so they updated. Now roughly get like 13,000 views on that.
That's still insane, though. I mean, to have 13,000 people watch something that you post instantly is crazy. So yeah, that's awesome. Let me know if you guys have any final questions for Greg. I know there's probably some technical glitches and stuff like that, some frozen screens and audio issues. Cleaning it all up. This is the first one. I wanted to bring on a good friend, somebody who really inspires me. every day.
He inspires me. He inspires me.
Lydia says, so rad, congratulations. Looks like one of your cousins there, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah? Screen is frozen. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll clean all that up. But hopefully you guys like this. I'm going to try to do this on a regular basis on Instagram Live as well as Facebook Live and YouTube Live coming up. So if you're watching this on the replay, let us know. I'll comment his Instagram handle so you guys can follow him and all the crazy stuff he does. And any final words you want to tell everybody?
I would like to say, tell Jason, thank you for having me. And I would also like to say, if it wasn't for Jason, I didn't tell y'all the story before my trips to Chicago, I wouldn't be in a position that I'm in. This is a good man. Y'all need to come visit the show, watch the show, tune in. He's helped me along the way in my acting career. So I'm here telling you guys about social media, but he was the person telling me what I need to do, where I need to be, and where I need to go in my acting career. So I thank him.
All right, man. All right, thanks, guys. Definitely share the stream if you're watching the replay. I appreciate all of you watching, and I'll talk to you again on the next show. Thanks.